It's a letter to the king. And welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben.
And I'm Kay.
And today we are reviewing a Netflix original British TV series called A Letter to the King.
Why British?
Don't know.
Okay. The Letter for the King is a story of a ruthless prince who threatens to cast the world into darkness when a young knight in training named Thurs embarks on an epic quest to deliver a secret letter to the king.
When I got the screeners from Netflix for this, I think I told myself a bunch of lies because I was expecting this series to be something that it isn't. We've just come off the back of The Witcher, which is incredible, in my opinion. I really enjoyed it, even though the timeline's all crazy. I enjoyed what they did with that. I love fantasy, epic, Lord of the Rings type stuff. First thing you should know about this series is the demographic is for a very young audience. It's a PG. It's Gatorade.
I don't know what you're trying to say, so I can't help you. It's gated.
I don't know. It's for. Let's just use the word for. It's for the whole family, but mostly for a younger generation. I would say 12 and younger. The way this is scripted, the way it is delivered to your eyeballs, reminds me a lot of the British TV series Merlin. Although I think Merlin's better. So, what would you like to say about this series?
I would like to say that I found it frustrating in parts simply because it had the potential to be great. There were moments, there were even whole sequences that were just riveting, that were really excellent. There were parts where the acting was really outstanding, particularly when you had adults acting against the children. But then you had complete crazy, off-the-wall weirdness. It was like the directors just said to the very young cast, like, "Hey guys, what would you like to do? Go on, go do that."
Yeah.
It was
be kids.
Yeah, it just made it, wow, like the mind was just like.
We'll give you one example. Just there's a sequence in the mountains where some kids, doesn't matter who they are, there are kids that are being held captive and they're high in the mountains and they're walking towards an area and these guards, baddie guards, we'll call them the baddies. I'm doing that a lot this.
You really are.
Yeah. They are bad, and so the kids are in a really heightened sense of tension. We've had a lot of tension for the last probably 20, 30 minutes. They don't know where they're going to live. They think they're going to die.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they're left to go on their own way, it's just a few meters from these guys, they decide to have a snowball fight.
Yeah.
It's the most bizarre direction that I've ever seen, ever. Like, for... I can't even get the words out because my mind can't understand what the director was thinking. Let's get the kids to do this now. It makes no sense.
None.
And that's this series in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Because there are sequences that are very good. The set design, some of the sets and the locations are just gorgeous and stunning. Well done set direction, guys. And
the costumes.
Yeah,
Costumers.
everything.
Excellent.
I think, I'm not going to say everything. There's a lot in this that really works. And there's sequences that when the adults are doing some emotional, heavy-hitting sequences that need to be emotional and heavy-hitting, I feel like the adults bring it. And most of the time, I would say that there are series where you can get kids that act really well or act well. Unfortunately, in this series, I would say that is 20% of the time you find kids that are acting on par to the adults. And I'm trying not to be mean, but I have got to be truthful for what I've seen in this series, and it's very difficult. I'm not even sure that it's their problem.
Yeah.
Because the dialogue...
That's what I was going to say. The dialogue is just diabolically bad in places.
Some of the lines, I was just shaking my head. Like, who scripted that? Why would you do that? So here's the thing. It doesn't have any excuses really because it is based off a book. And as far as I can tell, it has a decent following and there must be some decent writing in that book. So the adaptation, whatever went wrong from book to screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then we talk about the special effects, which is another juxtaposition because at the end I thought there were special effects that were really great. I was saying to Kirsten that it reminded me of like a Dark Souls baddie, which I thought was very cool. But then, a few moments before, probably 10 minutes before, we were looking at CGI that looked absolutely fake. Like, I didn't buy it for a second. And so you have, throughout the 6 episodes, and it's a short series, you have these juxtapositions of, you breathe a sigh of relief, you're going, this is good, I'm enjoying this. And then the next thing you're like, what on earth is happening?
Yeah. Yep. I think it's going to be quite difficult to rate, actually, because of that whole dichotomy of like, I am really good, I am really pants.
I was sad because I watched all 6 episodes, and there were moments I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
There were moments I just wanted to stab my eyeballs out, and there were other moments where I was like, this is just because of the society, or where we're living in society at the moment. So if you get offended or get upset about people writing certain things in because of where we are in society at the moment, you're definitely going to be upset at this, because I normally don't get upset at this sort of stuff, but I swore out loud. And I was just like, come on, this is just for that. We know what world we're living in. You don't have to push it into our faces.
Yeah.
Do
you know what I thought was quite funny? Our younger son was actually in the room for some of the episodes, not all of them. He was not paying attention. He was playing a game with his back to the screen. And he even turned around at one of the points where it's supposed to be like a big plot reveal. And he's like, oh yeah, it's going to be this. So predictable. It's like, he wasn't even watching, and he knew.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so the plot point reveals that they think are big plot point reveals, I guessed.
Yeah. There was one that you guessed that I didn't guess.
Yeah, okay.
But I kept resisting. I was like, no, it can't be. Can't be. Oh, it is.
Yeah. I am disappointed with this series because I think it could have been something really great. It could have been a kid's version of Lord of the Rings or The Witcher. Unfortunately, I just think it's a subpar Merlin series.
But you know what? Having said all of that negative stuff, there is actually a lot of good in it. And if you have young children, they might absolutely love this.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they might actually not pick up on the things that we notice. And maybe some of the kid dialogue and the kid stuff that happens is kid stuff.
Yeah.
So they might love it.
Like I said, we are not the demographic for this. It is for families and young families with young kids. And I think they may really enjoy the dialogue because of how cheesy and bad it is. That may be something that they really enjoy.
Yeah.
Because maybe that's the way they talk to each other.
Who knows? I don't know anymore.
I know nothing.
At the same time, you've got some pretty dark stuff that's happening as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of pitched at a very narrow little age gap. I'd like 8 to 12.
Yeah.
Wedged in there.
It's a very weird...
I
don't know. Because it does seem like sometimes they were going for the demographic of adults. Because there were storylines.
Do you know what I think happened? I think there were 2 directors, and I think they were fighting with each other the whole time. And when one was off sick, they got to do this stuff. And when the other one was off sick, they got to do that stuff. And
maybe.
That's just how it happened.
Let us know in the comments below what you think about this series when you see it. Maybe we're just being old and voguies and you really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think maybe you can just enjoy it for what it is. If you can just let all the stuff go, you may enjoy it. But for me, I'm going to have to give this a D.
Wow!
I have to be true to to what I'm feeling at the moment, and I'm feeling a D.
So your knee-jerk reaction is a D?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm going to be a bit kinder than that, I think. I'm going to give it a... Oh, gosh. I don't know. Because there are some moments that are really good. I think it's... Sometimes it's in, like, B- category, and then sometimes it's in, like, C- category. So, somewhere in between. So, between a B- and a D. Depending on which bit you're looking at.
All right, thanks so much for watching this review. Do check out our other content if you like us moaning about certain things. Honestly, we do enjoy other series and films.
Yeah, we do sometimes enjoy stuff. Just been a bit of a bad patch.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a bad patch.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you like our content, check out our memberships. We've got a whole cornucopia of different things we do on our memberships. Extra reviews, behind the scenes, short films. So check it out there. Just hit that little join button. Thanks so much for watching this review. But most of all, until next time, remember,
live long and Tuesday.